Good morning, Bix Weir, roadtoroota.com with your morning horn of Z's. Your sip of coffee. I have no coffee today. I already drank it, actually. I'm not going to go for 2 cups. Keeps me up at night and gives me the shakes, the jitters. You know what that's like. I want to talk about silver. Yesterday, I spent all day lugging some silver from the silver store. Sub $16 silver was a gift. It's a massive gift. Something is going on in the silver market, as everybody's talking about with the flash crash the other day. Let's just take a look at the chart. As you can see right here, seems like this is a 20-year chart. Just imagine how much money and virtual money and derivatives of money have been printed and created in the last 20 years. And silver has, truthfully, this spike should have kept going and going and going. But as we talked about, this spike right here was done by Bill Daley, Obama's chief of staff, who was Jamie Dimon's leader of Jamie Dimon's SWAT team. And that was the name of this team that Bill Daley led. Just had a squirrel jump on the roof. Interesting. The team that Bill Daley led at J.P. Morgan when there was a problem. Bill Daley, of course, is from the Daley crime family of Chicago, a well-known crime family. And so they caused the run-up from $20 to $50, and then the slam down is what they did as well. And there's a full analysis of that at the website roadtoroota.com. It's called J.P. Morgan Operation Silver Slam. So it was not allowed to run, although the printing of money continued. And you can see here we are kind of forming a base around the $15, a huge base. Let's look at the 5-year chart. This is the artificial bear market that was induced coming down from, it was around, the high was around $50 intraday. This has 34, but that's a little later. Back about over 5 years now was the May 1st silver drive-by shooting where it hit, I think 49 something, 49.80, I think. It was so close to 50. And then it was slammed down. Completely controlled operation, which started this artificial bear market. And right now we're hovering right in here. Clearly there's support around the $15, $16 range. Can it go down? Yes. Computers and derivatives can do anything they want, and as we have seen over the past week or so, here's the 1-year chart for silver. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for hiring Steve Mnuchin. Right in here, he let the price go up. Everybody thinking, oh, this is great. You know, silver's finally being cut loose. Slammed it down, let the price go up, slammed it down. And this latest one is a very big one. And the big ones are good because it means it's nearing the end. So we should be at or near the end of silver price suppression this go round. I loaded up on junk silver. Actually, it was mostly halves, Kennedy halves, and dimes, pre-1965 dimes, and I got it for right around spot. So yeah, I'm loving that. Absolutely loving it. So I'm sore from carrying all that silver home yesterday. But you know, this is the game they play. And let's just look at what happened this week. Right there, we had Flash Crash 1, Flash Crash 2, criminal holding it, and then Flash Crash 3. And now we're finally getting back to where, you know, what really changed between, when was that, July 6th and July 12th. The price is just about exactly the same, but what really changed? Was there any huge announcement in silver? Actually, there was one. One of the second largest mine ever currently operating decided to shut down right around like minutes before the crash on, I think it was the 7th. Let me look real quick. Was that the flash crash? Was on the 7th, I think. It might have been on my birthday or right after. It was right there. Yeah, on the 7th. So yeah, you have the largest silver mine, second largest silver mine in the world shutting down, meaning the production from that mine isn't going to be coming out. Hopefully they did it on purpose to kill the manipulators. And what happens? Moments later, they slam the price down lower. Talk about manipulation. The CFTC sticks its head up its rear and says, I don't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about. But that's their job, to run cover for the manipulators. So there's the last week. It started the week around $16. Got the flash crash, flushed out all the stop loss orders. That's the whole idea. And this is all COMEX pricing. The stop loss orders are set at certain lows, so people make sure they get out, and then the bad guys run all the stops and collect all that silver and then let it run back up, which is exactly what it did. So there's 1 week of criminal behavior right there. And then today looks pretty good. But don't get excited yet. If you haven't loaded up on silver, continue to load up on silver. And there will be a time when it runs back over 20, and it probably will be the last time it goes below 20 in ever in the history of investing. But we'll find out. The bad guys, the good guys who are in charge now are trying to prolong the system, prolong the unbacked system, and I think now they're trying to do it in order to get the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Litecoin in place, as well as all these blockchain companies that can just take over from where the old criminal system left off. Do I think it's a good idea? No, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to have all this criminality and the rigging of the markets, but just because you know about it doesn't mean it's going to end. And if you think about the rest of humanity, 99% doesn't even know about it still. So yeah, you're in the know if you know the markets are rigged, but and you can be pissed off that it's taking so long for them to be unrigged, but the rest of humanity doesn't even know. So, what are they going to do? They wake up one day and, silver's at $1,000 and the Dow has dropped to, 5,000. They'll be asking questions, and the regulators would have to answer those questions. And the market riggers, if the truth was known, would go to jail. But luckily, we have something like Veritasium, a cryptocurrency that can turn these markets into a peer-to-peer market, meaning I buy silver from you, not going through COMEX contracts, or even silver futures and options from you, not going through the COMEX, not going through the brokers, not going through the big banks who rig it every day. Very interesting concept. We talked about that yesterday. But what I want to talk about today is, since silver prices are low, I brought this article to the front of the Road to Ruta site. Don't forget to sign up for the Road to Ruta there on the left. Put your name and address. You get a free book, Silver, Gold, Bitcoin, and God. It's a fun book. And by the way, there's 3 other books after that, parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, that get very interesting. And haven't written part 5 yet, but it might be in the works. On the home page right here, you can go there, and right here in Ruta's General Store, you can find all the books, as well as the special report, The World in 2017, my analysis of the Economist cover. And how am I doing so far on that? Yeah, I don't know yet. Trump is in. Will he collapse the system, pull the plug? It's clearly past the first half of the year, so he didn't do it already. But once the plug gets pulled, then you're going to see all these other things fall right behind that are on the cover of that magazine. I might do a mid-year update for the private road members. Not quite sure. Really special private road on the Road to Ruta this week, so get ready for that. Talking about an ICO I like, but also I might have a special offering for all you non-technical crypto lovers who have seen Veritasium and I'm not going to announce it yet because I'm not sure if I can do it, but I think I can. So look for some news coming in a little bit, by probably tomorrow. But right down here is your silver pacifier. This is our article I wrote a while ago about silver market manipulation, and everybody's questioning, why am I in the right place? Should I be here? Yes, you should be in physical silver in your own possession. And here's what I wrote. I pull this article out every time. I think it was like 6 or 7 years ago I wrote this. There is massive fear in the silver market. Every time the price of silver moves down a tick, the sweat begins to bead up on the brows of silver investors, and the dark fear of investing doubt fills their thoughts. Oh my God, have I made the wrong decision again? What was I thinking buying silver when it was so close to its all-time high price? Quote, maybe I should sell some silver to take some winnings off the table. Ultimately, it is fear, not greed, that drives the big moves in price in all investments, and right now, fear is the motivator for silver investors. But very soon, that same fear will be the driver for silver blasting off to the moon. I still believe that, absolutely. And if you are strong enough to remove the fear from your mindset, the picture of what is happening to the price of silver is much more clear. As a matter of fact, we have seen this price action for the last 10 years over and over and over again. Silver has risen and fallen to extremes consistently all the way up. The mainstream media loves to point out how silver is much more volatile than gold and is much riskier of an investment. Of course, they never give reasons as to why a commodity with very, very stable mine production and stable industrial consumption is so volatile. They're hoping that you are not smart enough to ask yourself the important questions, like, is the silver market rigged? And if so, how is it done? Why are they doing it? And when will it end? For those who follow my work at roadtoruta.com, you understand the answers to these questions and are not swayed by the volatility of silver. For those unfamiliar with the Road to Ruta theory, I suggest you read this article that explains it, but fair warning, this may shatter your illusions of free markets and how the world is supposed to work. And then there's a link to the very first Road to Ruta. Oh, actually, that's to the Road to Ruta theory that gives you the first 4 or 5 Road to Ruta publications that I did. That's pretty cool. Go check that out. Back to silver, I'd like to address the 4 questions I posted above. Question number 1. Is the silver market rigged? Answer, yes. Every day and every trade, the silver market is controlled and has been for at least 40 years. That's since the invention of computers. Nobody knows the true fair market value of silver anymore, so all prices for silver are currently irrelevant. It's true. That's absolutely true. Nobody knows what the price of silver will be. Everybody speculates, but nobody knows. Once the rigging goes away, where will the price go? Question number 2, how is it done? How is the rigging done? Answer, the silver market rigging is accomplished by running computer market trading programs to steer the price of silver up and down, flushing out weak hands on the price slams, and covering short positions that were previously put in place to cap the rising silver price. These silver trades have little to do with physical silver, but everything to do with paper derivatives of silver. There is no floor or limit to where the controllers can place the price of silver. Think about it. Think about it. If the U.S. Treasury can, and the Fed can rig the price of silver, would they? And gold? Yes, of course they would. Now the question is, can they? Yes, there is no limit to the amount of derivatives that they can throw at the price of silver, on the upside or the downside. No limit. There is no limit on our government. That's why the silver price is controlled. So why are they doing it? Question number 3. Answer, to save the unbacked fiat monetary system. Unless you control the prices of all commodities, especially the monetary metals, an unbacked paper or electronic monetary system will fail in rapid fashion. As such, when the U.S. went off the gold standard in the early 1970s, Alan Greenspan wrote and implemented the original computer market rigging models to prolong the acceptance of unbacked fiat money. This was the implementation of the 1960s economic theory called On the Road to the Golden Age by Bertrand Naslund, which dealt with Nobel Prize winner E. Phillips' golden rule theory of equal capital accumulation. This is what Ruta wrote in the sand in the Federal Reserve Bank comic books. The ultimate conclusion of this theory was to print as much unbacked currency as possible for as long as possible to reap all the rewards before returning to the discipline of a gold standard. Question number 4. When will it end? Answer, there's the $100 trillion question, which actually has a very reasonable answer. The market rigging will end when the benefits of printing unbacked fiat money no longer outweigh the costs. The United States has hit that point as the bad guy banksters who abuse the system have practically taken control of the country, are in the process of transferring all the virtual wealth into their own pockets. Of course, in the end, they are the fools for believing in their own flawed monetary system, where paper and electronic blips equal real wealth. The first attempt at ending the game was thwarted by the banksters in 2008, but don't despair. The next attempt at crashing the system is right around the corner, and we have made sure that they will not escape this time. Those are the 4 answers to those 4 very big questions. As for what will happen to the price of silver during the transition to a gold-silver-backed monetary system, it can go anywhere. But in the end, it will be fear of losing your virtual wealth that will drive the price of silver to the moon. So during these times of turmoil in silver, it's best not to look at price, but count your ounces and remember why you bought in the first place. And then I go through a couple articles describing the many, many, many reasons to buy physical silver. Now, granted, this was written before I knew about, or probably before the planned cryptocurrency simultaneously running system was decided on by the good guys. I believe that's exactly what they're doing. They're building a new system of the cryptocurrencies, which are based on the blockchain, and businesses based on the blockchain, to take over from the old system, because the trust will be lost in the old system, and trust in the blockchain is 100%. Everybody, you might not even agree with Bitcoin or the Bitcoin valuations, but you have to agree that the blockchain is a trust machine because you see every single transaction. So, will you? A lot of people are saying, "Oh, silver will far outshine the cryptocurrencies." I don't think so. I think silver will be used for amazing industrial applications in the ongoing future. I don't think there's enough silver to be used as money, truthfully. There might be enough gold, but I think there's a lot more gold out there, hidden gold and secret gold, than there is silver out there. And silver is absolutely necessary for the products that are coming down the pike. These new products, especially the products related to new types of energy to save our planet, that will be stopped from being hidden from humanity once the good guys take over fully, and then the new types of new inventions, really, with supposedly it is used in the anti-gravity type machines that are coming. We'll see what happens. If it works on paper, people can invent it. So you can invent an anti-gravity machine on paper. So I'm sure they can put it into the manufacturing realm very soon, especially if there's no more blockage of that type of research. So really exciting times in silver and gold. We'll see. The more I think about gold, it'll probably have a place in the monetary system for a while people get used to the cryptocurrencies and how to use them and where they will be used. I think the transition actually can be pretty smooth. And I think that's what they're shooting for with the cryptocurrencies. Remember, this cryptocurrency adventure wasn't around really until 2009, 2010, and then really didn't gain acceptance until like the last couple of years. So there's a long way to go still to gain acceptance, but the businesses are already being built and being put right next to the old businesses, so the transformation can be seamless. And you don't have the whole system shutting down. You don't have millions of people dying because they can't get food, water, medicine, electricity, anything else. And you can't. It would be very difficult to distribute gold and silver to the people because there isn't any. The people who hold gold are going to hold it their tightest, and the people who hold silver will be selling it for the industrial uses. So it's really not that great a form of money, and I think the cryptocurrencies, everybody who has a smartphone can deal in it, or a computer. So it's an interesting time. My recommendations are definitely get as much silver as you can at this price, and then hopefully something like Veritasium will be introduced within the COMEX, running parallel to the COMEX and the LBMA for silver purchases and silver derivative purchases, even, because Veritasium is very good for that as well. All depending on the August test of the implementation of the new digital crypto exchange in Jamaica that is absolutely promoted and given the blessing already by the Jamaican Stock Exchange and the Jamaican regulatory agencies. So that's what's happening, right? The world, the changing exchanges are happening right now, and it would take the criminality out of the Jamaican Stock Exchange instantly. I think there will be some chaos because a lot of those shares that they say people own aren't actually there. So that's the problem within the U.S. markets too. So everybody will probably pull their money out of the old system and bring it into the new. And then you're looking at the game of musical chairs ends, and people trying to transfer their stock over to a new honest system will find that they didn't have any stock there in the first place. Very scary time for the DTCC, which is a criminal organization as well. I've talked about that many times. Anyway, so that's kind of your silver update right now. When will silver start to run? I don't know exactly when. A lot of people looking at the September, October, November time frame for some economic chaos to come down the line. The housing market is clearly starting to wobble big time. Martin Armstrong has that bottoming out in 2036, I believe. I believe he's correct, and it's not going to bounce back to obviously the dollar will be worth a lot less by then too, but housing was never meant to be an appreciating asset. It's the depreciation of the money that gave you the mindset that your assets were appreciating when sunk into a home. So yeah, but you need a place to live, and I think anybody who's buying with cash in the next after about 6 months to a year will be really, really happy, because without the banks lending to the home buyers, you're not going to have any kind of home price support, and housing prices will probably drop 90%. And because it's all about interest rates and it's all about bank lending. So if the bad guys or good guys keep the system going, housing prices can stay fairly lofted. But the next hiccup in the markets will be the last hiccup, because everything is teetering right now, and you can't have Illinois going bankrupt and Chicago going bankrupt and all these municipalities. I think Hartford got downgraded to junk bonds, so they'll go bankrupt, and Puerto Rico, you name it. You just go down the line, and those problems aren't being fixed at all. And they can't be fixed until the system crashes. Anyway, this is Bix Weir on a happy note with your silver pacifier. And those of you interested, I think I have a hump day talk with V today at around 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And V runs that live on his web channel. So go check that out at Rogue Money. No. Is it Rogue Money? Yeah. The Road Money YouTube channel, and he'll have a live link, and then he'll post it, and I'll post it a little later in the afternoon. All right, this is Bix. We'll talk to you later. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. Thumbs up.